Hi, I'm Marc Loftus, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Post TV. Today I'm speaking with Russell Wise, who is the Senior VP of Sales and Marketing for Digital Nirvana. And Digital Nirvana is based in California and specializes in AI technologies for broadcast and media workflows. Russell, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mark. Good to be here. Good to see you.
Great to see you. So for people who aren't familiar with Digital Nirvana, I had a chance to check out your website, but could you give us a little bit of a background on the company and what your core business is?
Happy to, Mark. Digital Nirvana is about 500 people worldwide in business for about 15 years, focusing on financial vertical and the broadcast marketplace. My particular focus for the company is broadcast media. And today our primary focus is taking AI technologies and making them usable in broadcast workflows. Very powerful capabilities out there in speech to text, image recognition, logo recognition, all the visual types of ways to analyze your content. How do you make that those capabilities easily accessible for broadcast media workflow is our current focus.
Okay, and you mentioned speech to text. I think of captioning when I think of things like that. You mentioned even like logo recognition and tracking of media, so that it really spans a couple of different areas there. For post-production facilities who are creating content up until the point of delivering to their client for distribution, how would it apply to, a post facility or a content producer, for example?
Great. I'll give you several examples. For example, content that resides in any MEM, if you can index that content quickly, easily, it becomes searchable and gives you new ways to discover insights and produce content faster. So one particular product, we would essentially take content from Avid, index it with speech to text, apply that back into Avid in their markers, and now you've got a very fast way to go reproduce content. That's just one element of what you would call metadata enhancement.
Okay.
That we look at. Currently, that product we call metadata 2.0. Secondly, with another product you'll see coming out is called Trance, and Trance is leveraging speech to text and translation capabilities to quickly transcribe content, produce captions. We can do caption conformance automatically, meaning if you need to publish your captions in a format acceptable by Netflix, Quibi, any digital producer, we do that automatically. So those are the three elements, primarily applying speech to text technology for that particular product.
Okay, where does machine learning come into it? Is it just a continuing development of recognizing and identifying whether it's text, logos, advancing it in that, or is there more to it than that?
That's actually a good way to say it. For example, if we're transcribing, or let's say doing captioning for Turner, which we do for the NBA properties, primarily when they repurpose content for web VOD. There's a lot of sports lingo that goes on. So yes, you can start training the machine on recognizing those words. It is one of the more challenging genres to use speech to text on, being sports, right? But yeah, that's how we would use machine learning in that particular area. If we're looking or transcribing financial statements or financial transcripts, meaning the reports about earnings, there is a way to teach the machine about how to deal in that type of vernacular too.
Okay, you had mentioned studios that are working with Avids. Is that a tool that integrates with Avid? Is it outside of an Avid workflow? Just knowing that in a broadcast studio, they may be using Avid NLE and having content coming out. What kind of integration, if any, do you need?
Yeah, in that case, there are two elements. There would be an on-prem server that we would provide that interfaces to Avid. That's where we take the content, we transcode it into something manageable where we can push to the cloud and apply the speech to text and also image recognition type services to that. So.
Which I guess if you're a broadcast facility and you've got all of this content to be able to access it at some point from a library standpoint that would have value.
Yeah, absolutely. You think of Disney Plus with how many millions of hours of content, and you want to find elements of that content quickly. It behooves you to go ahead and index it. One of our customers that we're in a project with also wants to automatically look at the emotions elicited by that content or sentiment analysis. And at least they now understand that element of their content, which makes them have the ability to potentially insert ads that are more relevant for those types of emotions in the content.
Wow.
So you start to see that type of intelligence applied to the content. Right.
You had mentioned a couple of the products, and I know you said Trance was one of your key products. Can you give us a little bit more detail on Trance?
Sure. Well, think of it as a platform with multiple applications leveraging speech to text in this case. So the first thing, obviously, if I can take content and get a translation, not translation, but a transcript of that. Mm-hmm. From there, you obviously need to look at editing. And so there's a set of editing tools that allow you to, and we all know speech to text is not perfect. And so you need to do that. Then convert to captions is a second step, and convert to captions, embed captions. Then if you need to translate that into another language, there's that capability too. But I think one of the most powerful pieces of the product is this ability to conform your captions to what the digital distributor is wanting. Okay, for example, there's a lot of content being produced for Quibi. I'll use Quibi as an example. One of our customers would essentially produce the captions, content and captions for Quibi, but they set up a style guide within Trance. So automatically it caption meets the style guide conformance, and there's no rejection of content. They know it's exactly like it should be. Mm-hmm. So that's just another automated tool to assure that the captions are as they should be, right? And that's the same relates to government regulations for captioning. Every country has them. Here in the US, we have them. Canada is moving to more strict adherence to certain standards. So if you can look at your captions and make sure they are conformed to government regulations in advance, it really, it's a big productivity gain, quite frankly.
For somebody who wants to know more, can you direct them to your website? Where would they find out a little more about Digital Nirvana?
Sure. www.digital-nirvana.com.
Very cool. And
Digital-Nirvana.
Excellent. Okay. Excellent. Well, I want to thank you for taking a little bit of time to speak with us, Russell. And again, if you want to check out more about Digital Nirvana, just go to their website, digital-nirvana.com. Thanks again for your time, Russell.
Thank you, Mark. Bye-bye.